Welcome friends, welcome back to the hangar. Mike Victor uniform is still in Chris's hangar. We're working away at a lot of things. So I thought I'd do an update of all of the little jobs that we're doing. And there's all these tiny little pieces that have to fall into place before we can get the panel in. And then there's a bunch of other things that we're doing along the way. Little snags that we saw during the pre-buy and the annual that weren't necessarily things that needed to be done right away, but we should get on in the next, year or so. And we thought, since the plane is apart, let's do those. You might also notice that this is a brand new windshield. The other windshield was kind of okay. I knew it was going to be replaced in the next couple of years. And then when I was stripping the paint off, a little bit of paint stripper got on it, even though I tried so hard to protect it, got on it and pretty much destroyed it. So we took the old one out. It's been out for a little while. We fitted it yesterday, which is a bit of a job. You put it in, you see how it fits, and then you take it out. And Chris took a sander, sanded it, you put it back in, see how it fits, you take it out. We put it in and out 3 times until we got it to fit. And now it's just clecoed in place. And later today, John and I will probably go through and we will fasten it completely, final fastening. It's going to be great to have a new windscreen. It's one of those things where you think, oh, the old one isn't so bad. And then when you look out of a brand new one, you think, wow, that's a huge difference. That in itself, I think, is a giant win for us. Now, the firewall forward wiring is progressing nicely. There was a couple of snags that slowed us down here a little bit. One of them is completely on me. When I ordered all of the firewall forward stuff from Dynon for the panel, I ordered the incorrect probes for the cylinder head temperature probes. This engine didn't take the probe style that Dynon sent me. That's on me. And we need to put a different one that goes on the top here by the spark plug. So we were waiting for those parts. Those parts are in. Firewall forward will be finished probably within an afternoon. Everything can be tied up. The other thing that happened down here was I knew right from the very start that the carburetor didn't have the fitting for the temperature probe that went in for the carb heat. So we took the carburetor off and sent it out to have that drilled out and tapped. While it was out, we also thought, okay, let's have the carburetor rebuilt. So the carburetor has been completely rebuilt. All new floats, all new gaskets, everything that goes along with the carburetor rebuild, new jets and stuff like that. And that carburetor is back on and the temperature probe is in. So tiny little things like that sort of set you back. You think, should I go just that little bit farther and do this now since it's all apart? I don't really want to because it's going to slow us down, but yes, it's all apart and I probably should do it. And it's very difficult in a project of this size to figure out where to draw that line. Where is your mission scope creeping so far out that you're losing sight of what you really want to do and you're losing control of the budget? That's the other thing, is not losing control of the budget. So far we've been able to stay on budget, and I think that's because I'm doing a lot of the grunt work myself. Chris has been watching me work and has been giving me bigger and bigger tasks as he realizes that I can probably turn a wrench okay, and I'm capable of doing more and more jobs. He's still watching me closely, he's still certifying my work, but he's giving me bigger and bigger jobs to do. On to, if you've noticed, the polishing. And so the polishing has been happening. This is my polishing rack with all of my polishing stuff. Has been happening as I get time here and there. I'm probably 60 hours in at this point in the polishing. I've got it down pretty nicely. Now I'm just waiting until we get a little bit more work done until I do the final polish on it. And I think this is going to look fantastic. It's a 61-year-old aircraft. It's got scratches, it's got dings. It's never gonna hold up to really close scrutiny. If you see me at a fly-in and you come up and you go, looks like a scratch, yeah, there's gonna be a scratch. There's gonna be places that I'm just never gonna get it all out. You're also gonna notice we painted all of the control surfaces this red. Took these out to a friend of Chris's just down the road, guy's name's Paul. He did a really good job of painting these. I chose this red because it is the color of my last pickup truck, and I really like it, and I think it's gonna go well with this silver. And as soon as I get the polishing done a little bit more, especially with the cowl and we get it all buttoned up, Paul's gonna come in and he's gonna paint a couple of stripes down the side of the plane, or maybe one stripe down the side of the plane. Haven't figured that out completely, but I think that stripe is gonna tie it all together, along with, we're gonna paint the landing gear and all of the plastic fairings. Which brings me to the plastic fairings. On the tip of the rudder and the wing tips, I've changed all of the strobe lights. So the beacon and all of the strobes. I've gone to some really high-tech LED strobes, which are gonna draw less current and be brighter. Brighter is better, I think, if people can see you. We also did the landing lights in new LEDs as well. And so in order to put in all of those lights, all of the wire pretty much from the inside of the plane, we stripped out all of the wire and started it with brand new wire, because none of these lights used the old single wire lighting setup that came out of the factory from Cessna. So these are all 4 wires. So we pulled all new wire and took all of the old wire and got rid of it. And so we've pulled all of that wire forward to where the new panel goes. And over the coming week or so, Chris is going to start wiring in all of the breakers and all of the switches so that we can get all of that wired in. And that is sort of fiddly, tinkery work that I'm not going to be a part of at all. Chris is going to take care of that entirely. So as you can see, all new wires, they're all labeled and color-coded, so everything is going to be really easy to figure out. They are everywhere. We haven't tied them all in yet because we want to make sure that we've got enough cable where we need the cable. So all of that work is going to happen over the next couple of weeks. Chris is going to come in and tie in all of the brand new breakers and all of the brand new switches. Nothing from the panel is coming back. And all of this electrical work has to happen before we can actually get into the Dynon installation. Even though parts of the Dynon installation are done already, we've made some avionics trays and we've pulled some of the wire in from firewall forward. So all of that is happening. Over the last couple of weeks, we've also added in, these are new seat belts. So these are BAS over-the-shoulder harnesses, and they're retractable. They are inertia reel harnesses, which are really nice because in this aircraft, I have to bend forward in order to actuate the Johnson bar for the flaps. And what I found with the older harnesses, the ones that are fixed, I'd have to loosen off my seatbelt to lean forward. And then, you know, you're in that critical point where you need your seatbelt tight because you're landing, but you have to loosen it, lean forward, get it. And so these inertial reels are so much better. They're more comfortable on a long flight. Put those in. But the thing that I'm really excited about is something that is totally ridiculous, totally small and ridiculous, and that's these. These are called door stewards, and it's a gas strut that holds the door open when you're outside and it's windy. That's something this plane never had. So there used to be a little catch that went up here at the top that held the door, and they never caught properly. The plane would rock a little bit, the door would fly closed, jam you in the side. Not good. So these are really nice gas struts. It took a couple hours to put on, a few rivets, drill some holes, easy peasy, but well worth the time and the money. So as far as the panel goes, everything from Dynon is here, ready to go in. We're moving forward. I think we're on track. In fact, I think we're doing incredibly well. I bought this plane at the end of July. At the end of July. I bought this plane at the end of July, and it is now the end of November. And in that time, we've made great strides. People have come in and said, oh, what do you think? It's going to be a year to 18 months to get this finished? And here we are. And I will probably be flying it by the end of December, beginning of January. Fingers crossed, as long as global supply chain issues don't affect us any more than they already have. So that's it for today. We're moving forward. We're doing really well. Loving your comments down below, so please let me know what you're thinking. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon. On. More. A little bit more. Cool.
There you go.
Excellent.
Okay, there's another worry out of the...
So way back when this plane first shipped from the factory, there was a strap that came from the top down to the bottom here, and it was a split windshield. They couldn't make the windshield all in one piece. Somewhere in probably the 1980s, they switched out the windshield, but no one bothered to fill these two holes, so where they took out the rivets from the strap. So there's been 2 holes in the roof of the airplane ever since then. So Freddie and I just smashed in a couple of rivets, filled up the holes, and everything's good again.